Big cichlids, like the ones in this tank behind me, are ammonia factories. They eat a lot and they produce a lot of waste because of how they're constantly digging the substrate and tend to just destroy plants. It's not easy really to use plants to help control ammonia and ultimately nitrates in a tank like this. So because of that, I currently have on this tank an algae scrubber from my friends over at Santa Monica Filtration. I went over it with you in an earlier video. Let's go ahead and take a look at how that algae scrubber is coming along. It does take a little while to get it to sort of mature, if you will, and let's take a look at how it's doing. It can take a month to really start to get a good algae bloom going on one of these. As you can see, I have some oxygen running through it, the air bubbles coming out of it. Let's take a look at the progress. You can see a little bit of algae starting to show up on the edges there. At first, you don't want to overwhelm it with too much light, so you use a little black sheet. You can see it here. And I cover up about 50% or more of the light just to get it going initially. So you can see there, only 2 of the lights are showing at the bottom. So I'll leave those covered up until I start to get a nice algae bloom. And then I'll go ahead and gradually start to remove this black cover and expose the algae to more and more light. But eventually that algae scrubber will be completely full of algae, and then every week I'll pull it out and clean the algae off and then have the algae grow again. This, of course, is my simple DIY sump. 40-gallon breeder made up mostly of 4-inch wide sponges from my friends over at Swiss Tropicals. The water does cascade into the sump through a sock, 7-inch across wide sock, and then there's some polyfloss there, a little bit of poly before the water gets to the sponges. But the sponges do all the filtering really. There is some ceramic, some Cera media also in the sump. So there you have it. I'll be keeping an eye on that algae scrubber, and I'll keep you posted on how it's doing, both in the development of algae, which will be consuming nitrates and ammonia, and also in how it's impacting the nitrate levels based on tests that I'll be running on this aquarium. This aquarium tends to run around 40 in its nitrates, sometimes a little lower, sometimes a little higher, of course, and depending on the size of the water changes. But let's see if this algae scrubber makes an impact on a tank of this size, 300 gallons, and with some good sized cichlids in it. And of course I'll be adding more cichlids to this tank. It is relatively lightly stocked. I kind of like the group I have in there now, but I would like to add some more fish. More on that in a later video. Thank you for tuning in. If you'd like to support the channel further, consider becoming a Patreon monthly supporter. Starts for as little as $3 a month. Helps out in more ways than you know. And if you like the channel, consider becoming a subscriber, hitting that bell and that thumbs up. Let YouTube know something good is going on around here. And why don't you join me on Saturday for the Cichlids and Coffee live stream. Great group of fish keepers get together every Saturday. We talk about everything from food to filters to fish to substrate to lighting, everything. And it's such a great group of fish keepers. Every Saturday, 11 a.m. Central. Hope to see you there. And if you'd like my best tips on fish keeping, click on this playlist right here. And if you want to subscribe, hit me in the mug down there. Thank you, my friends. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.